It's him and I, Aquemini.
What's going on YouTube? This is Marcos from Aquemini Pressure Washer, and I'm back again with another video. In this video, we're going to do a little repair on a 2.4 gallon Simpson pressure washer. What's going on with this? I have a friend who has a car detailing company, and his pressure washer is not working. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at it to see what's wrong with it and see if we can fix it. All right, guys, this goes the pressure washer. It is a 3000 psi, 2.4 gallon per minute premium. It says premium gas. Why everybody's gonna use premium gas, I don't know. Pressure washer made by Simpson, and it has a Honda engine. It's a GCV 170 Honda Easy Start engine, so should start up pretty easy. All right, pull the pull start, and it's not froze anything. And I seen the little shaft going down at the bottom, where the pump is, which is right there. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna hook up the hose, and we're gonna try to see if this pump is working and water comes through the line. So let me go ahead and get the hose set up, and then we're gonna go ahead and crank it up and see what we got. Okay, guys, we got the pressure washer hooked up. We primed the hose now. What I did, I'm gonna show you what I did. I took the little screen out. This is to keep dirt and stuff out of it. I took that out so there won't be no restriction or anything like that. So the first thing that I did was I'm gonna prime it and see if we get any water come out through here. So as you see, I got water pumping through there, but nothing is coming through the hose. So somehow I'm thinking that it's clogged up. So let's go ahead and break this down and take a look at it a little closer. Get the water cut off. So it's a good chance that we have something clogged up in here. So we're gonna, let's take this off and see if we got any water coming through here. There we go. All right, like some water's coming through there. So let's turn the water back on and see if it shoots out. All right, water's on. Okay. Water is shooting through there with no problem. So let's crank it up and see what happens. Turn it on. See, I don't think it has a choke or anything on here. So let's see. I'm gonna put y'all down over here. I'm assuming when I crank this up, that water should be shooting out a little harder than this. It did look like it increased. Not by much. So water is going through there, but it's not coming out through the hose. So let's see. We're gonna get that back on. We're gonna screw the hose back on. All right, again. So we got water here. Let's take off the gun and see if we get water coming through the holes here. All right, let's turn the water on. Okay, we got water through here. I'm gonna turn it off. All right, we're gonna put the gun back on and check to see if we get water through here. Doesn't look like it's clogged. But still, with low pressure, you should get water coming into this gun. So if we don't get pressure going through it, It could be the gun itself. All right, let's turn the water on. Water on. There, now we got water coming through it. I wonder what happened. All right, so let's crank it up and see if we can get pressure now. Yeah, I'm getting pressure. It doesn't look like it's engaging. Let's try hitting the pump. Okay, we have water going through the pump, but the pump is not engaging. So one thing about these machines, let's go ahead and cut the water off again. So one thing about these machines, I don't see a place where you put oil for the pump. So I'm thinking the pump could be bad, but how, I really don't know. I'm gonna do a little research before I take it off. And then we'll take it off and we can see if we can find a part for it and order it. Okay guys, before we order the pump, which I'm assuming it could be out, we're gonna check the upload spring, which is this spring right here. If we take this little cover off, that's the spring. This is your uploader. What could be happening is that the spring is froze and you're not able to, it's not letting the water go past because this is not moving freely and stuff like that. So we're gonna check to make sure that this pin is not frozen, this upload spring. So what I'm gonna do, this little pin right here, this has to be popped out. So we're gonna remove that, which was pretty simple. And then we're gonna take a screwdriver and we're gonna try to pry this out. There we go. Pop that right out. Okay. This is your uploader. So what we want to do is see if this thing right here is frozen, and it's not frozen. You see it's moving up and down. So that tells me that it's not the upload spring. The seals on it looks pretty good. I don't think I need to flush it or anything, but that's like it's in good condition and stuff like that. So we're gonna almost rule this out. We'll put it back on, try it one more time with the water hose to see if it worked. If it was froze, I just kicked it in to unfreeze it. So if it doesn't work, then we know that it's the pump itself. make sure it's lined up because it slid out easy, so it should slide in easy. There we go. So that's in. Put that back on. All right, so we're gonna power this back up and see if anything changes. Okay, water's on. Got pressure coming through. Let's switch the engine on, and we're gonna pull start. Okay, it's still not changing anything, so we can go ahead and consider that it is the pump. So we're gonna try to see if we can order one for this, and we're gonna continue the video as soon as I get the part in. All right, guys, it's been a couple of weeks later. I got the part in from Amazon. I'm leaving a link in the description for this piece. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. I already unboxed it. I tried to record this earlier, but for some reason, I think the mic wasn't recording, so I'm just doing this for a second time just to make sure that you can hear me and stuff. Okay, in the box, you basically have the new pump, and what you want to do when you order the pump, you're trying to see if your mounting brackets and this little shaft is going to fit. You want to make sure that shaft is going to fit onto the pressure washer. They all should be the same. It seems like all of them are universal and stuff like that. If you look at this one and this one, this is totally different. So like right here, this is your input. That's your output for your hose. The hose on this one goes right here. So I'm assuming that that is the same size. Yeah, that looks like it's fit, and yeah, that looks like it's going to screw on. Yeah, it screws on. So that's good. That's going to fit. Your downstream ejector is on the side now versus this one was on the top. Your hose inlet, that should be pretty much the same. Nothing should change like that. Your uploader is right here on the back instead of on the side like this one. So hopefully that this design, just in case you need to clean it something, it's easy to get to than it was getting to this one. And basically that's it. So what we want to do, like I said, we're going to take this old one off, and we're going to put this new one on. This screws right here, they're using Allen keys. It comes with everything you pretty much need. So the mounting screws for the new pump, but also that has the bolts with it. And over here we have different size bolts. These take, it looks like standard keys, so like a 9/16 or 5/8 socket, wrench and socket. So we're going to take these off, and after we get those off, we're going to pull this off, put the new one, try to see if the holes line up on the old one and the new one to make sure they're the same, and then make sure that the shaft is going to fit on there. So let's go ahead and get that done, because like I said, as far as the way it looks right here, it's the same. As far as the height and the distance between point A and point B and point C, I'm not too sure. We're going to have to look at that after we get it off. All right. Okay, so we're going to move this out the way so y'all can see pretty decent and stuff like that. All right. There we go. Man, that might be a little bit better. So let's see what size wrenches this take. I said it was 9/16. Let's see if it fits. Nope, it's small. It's probably a 1/2 inch. Yeah. 1/2 inch it is. All right. So we're going to take our 1/2 inch socket. All right. We're going to loosen up the first bolt. Okay. And if you have a bolt here that goes all the way through the top, so you just want to get it loose, and it should come loose. So I don't know if we got to reuse these, but just in case, we will. Should be 3 bolts on it, so one here, and one toward the front. And like I said, this is just holding the pump on. So get that loose. Yeah. So one good thing is about these screws, they're coming out pretty easy. They're not rusted or anything, so that's good. All right, we got one more in the front. I can just spin it around. This is so much lighter than my pressure washer. So we got this one bolt right here in the front. We're gonna loosen this one and take it off. All right, that's loose. It's already starting to fall off, and it's off. So took 3 bolts off. This comes off pretty good. Now, one thing about this, I'm gonna lift this up and take it out like this. It has this little collar. You need to make sure you put that back on. So do not misplace this. This goes on before you put this pump on. So let's look at that. Put that to the side so we know put that back on. Now we're gonna look at the pump and compare the pieces. So regardless, it's gotta come out the back. So let's look at this a little closer. So your inlet is coming out the back, inlet's back, and that's your supply line. That's going to be going to your hose. That's coming out the back. So this is what's going to come to the back. So now these holes right here should pretty much line up. And looking at it, it looks like it does. So hopefully that this will go on. Like I said, you have 2 sets. You have the old screws that should work. Let's see. Yeah, they look like it's going to work. I think I'm going to try with the old screws instead of the new ones, because the new ones, like I said, take an Allen key, Allen wrench versus, you know, those right there. And you do have a pin right here. It was a pin in the old one right here. So this pin goes right here in this slot right here. And that pin should line up with the little pin right here on the side. And I do see it. So the only thing we got to do is make sure that we have our collar on, and then we put this pin in there so it goes all the way up. Let's see. I believe it needs to go all the way down to the bottom. I'm looking at it. It sticks out the top a little bit. This one doesn't stick out as far. So let's look at it. I don't know if we can get this one out or not from the old one. Nope, we don't look like we can get that out. But like I said, this little rod right here is a little bit longer than, which doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this pin right here is a little bit long, but I believe it would work and stuff like that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to line this up to see if we can get this collar on first, and then we're gonna try to put this pin, line this pin up with the motor right here, and then we're gonna put 1 or 2 bolts in just to hold it in place, and then we'll go ahead and tighten everything up. Just in case you wonder, it does come with instructions. Pretty much it just self-explanatory. Same thing I just told you and stuff. Nothing major or anything like that. To make this easy on myself, I'm gonna kind of tip. Well, to not make it easy on myself, do not tip it over because it's gonna fall off the platform. So let's leave that on so it won't fall. All right, the 3 screws are lined up with the holes. So we're gonna try to work this piece on. We're gonna put the piece from the shaft on first. That's staying up. Now we're gonna take our pump. We're gonna make sure that this piece, which is the inlet, is pointing toward the back. Now, if I'm pointing the stuff toward the back, this little rod piece needs to be on that side of the machine. So let's see, if we pull this a little bit, we can make, we pull this a little bit, we can make that hole go over to the other side. Oh, it's just about there. There we go. Matter of fact, it went too far. I'm turning it with my hand, so that helps a little bit too. So, all right, we got it lined up to where I think it's going to line up correctly. Make sure our holes line up with the pins. So we'll take one of the screws, and we're just going to stick this. I'm going to stick this to the one that opens, make sure it's lined up. Okay, that one's good. And this one over here, that's go through, so that one's good, so they're lined up. Now, I got my little collar on, so let's go ahead and get this piece on now. So make sure that this pin is not going to fall out. So just kind of hold it in place with your hand. Yeah, this is not going to be easy, guys. So let me turn it around so y'all can see a little bit better. And I think I would have better access to the machine if it's turned around too. So let's. There we go. All right. So this is the back of the machine. So this is the back of the machine. We want to make sure that this pin lines up with the pin in the back. This is what's going to be your hardest part, and that is lining up that pin that's in the pump with the pin on the shaft. So that's the hole for the pin. So let's see. Let's try putting the little pin on the shaft first, and then pushing it. Okay, it fits. All right, let's. Okay. All right, this little pin is not going to go past that little collar that we put up there. And at the same time, when I put this little square pin in here, it doesn't go all the way down. So that may cause a problem. So we're going to try to put it on. If it fits and it works, good. If not, we're going to have to take the one out of the old one and try to line this up. So let's try this again. I'm going to show you a little closer shot. So let's see. I don't know if you can see that or not. Right here is the shaft. Right here is the shaft, and it's a little slot right here that this little collar is going up to, and then the little pin, that square pin, fits in here, which lines up here. So when the engine turns, it turns the pump. So that's the main thing that you got to make sure that we get that pin lined up with the pin inside the pump. If not, it's not going to work properly. But also we got to make sure that it goes on all the way, because like I said, the other one is a lot shorter than the one that came with the kit, which doesn't make any sense, but we'll try it anyway. All right, let's try to get this on. And truthfully, I think I'm gonna have to do this without my gloves, because this is it's not dirty, but we want to make sure that we can get this on there the best way we can. All right, so I'm gonna put the pin, like I said, on the shaft. Then we're gonna move the pump over in place. And yes, I got my shaft and the pin lined up correctly. Now, if it's in the correct position, this should slide into place. There we go. It went up, and the holes are lining up, I believe. So let's at least get one screw in. That way that'll hold the pump up and it won't fall. So I got one screw in. And I got the bolt on. So that one's good. All right, so like I said, I'm using the old ones. I don't want to fool around with these right here. These should be the same thing. They're the same length, everything like that. Only difference is you got to have an Allen key with this, and also it has some, the bolts has nylon locks on it for, I guess, if it's gonna lock in place a little bit better, but I don't think I need those. So let's put the one on the front. See if that lines up. It does. All right, and try to get this screwed on. All right, that's two. And the third one goes right here in the rear. There we go. All right, it's in place. Before we tighten it up and everything, I'm gonna turn this sideways. We're gonna turn it back toward me again, and I'm gonna try to see if I can pull, not crank it, but just pull the pull string. And it pulls, no problem. It feels like it's ready to crank. All right, so let's go ahead and tighten the bolts up now. We just, since it got you turned this way, we'll tighten this one up first. All right, just get it snug so it won't move or anything like that. Do not over tighten it so you won't break anything. All right, so let's go to the other side. All right, let's tighten these up. Again, I just tighten this up enough where it won't bounce off the machine or anything from the vibration, so that's good. All right, let's get this last bolt. And so far, so good. This is pretty simple. I mean, anybody can do this. Like I said, for this machine, it's not hard. So this is, like I said, consumer grade. You spent like $200 on the machine and you want to get your money worth, I guess, you know, spending $60 to $100. I think this one right here was like $75 or something like that, this pump. So $75 versus $250 for this machine. I guess if the engine's good and you've been take care of the engine and stuff like that, replacing the pump then replacing the whole machine is a lot cheaper. For me personally, since I do so much pressure washing, I went with the commercial machine off the rip. But if you're first starting out, you can get you one of the machines, do a driveway cleaning or a house cleaning. It may take you a little longer to do it, but you can do it and you can make your money back from that one wash. All right, so we got that done. Let's go ahead and put the hose, connect the hose back into this one. It seems like it's, like I said, gonna screw on pretty simple and stuff. All right, I believe that is it. Okay, so I got the bolts on. I got the machine mounted down and everything is tight. I got the hose on, so let's go ahead and hook the water hose up onto it, and we're gonna see if we're gonna get any kind of pressure out of it this time. All right, guys, we got it all fixed and repaired. I just want to compare the two machines and stuff that I have. Like I said, this is my friend machine right here. He uses this for washing cars. But like I said, if you want to start your company and stuff, it's nothing wrong with getting this type of machine, but it's going to take you forever to do a job. All right, and this is my machine. As you can see, it's way bigger. Has a couple more components on here that this one right here does. And not to say that this machine right here cannot do the same thing as this machine, but this machine is going to do a lot faster than that one. Like I said, this is a 4 gallon a minute machine versus this is 2.4. But with that pump, I'm thinking that pump I put on now that we just replaced, maybe a 2.5 pump. So the pump is the main thing that puts out the gallons per minute, not the machine. Your machine just has to be able to power the pump. Because I'm thinking if my pump goes out in my machine, instead of getting repaired, which I can repair this pump no problem, because you can get parts and all kind of things for this machine because it is professional grade. Versus this one, I had to replace the whole pump, and there was nothing that I can really do about it. That pump underneath here was around 75 bucks. So that's including shipping if you got Amazon Prime stuff. Link is in the description. That's my affiliate link. So if you if you go get that pump, it'll just help the channel out and stuff like that. But yeah, I bought it with my money because like well, my friend, he bought it with his money. I just ordered it for him and stuff like that. And basically, we're going to see if this is going to be working like that. Now, on my machine, I can probably also get this pump off of Amazon too. But instead of me paying $70 for this pump right here is going to run you about anywhere between $800 to $1,000. Most likely around 800 bucks, I think. I really haven't priced it because I've been using this since 2020, and as long as I take care of it and don't leave anything in it, don't run bleach or anything in it, I shouldn't have no problem with this pump probably for the next couple of years. If the seals or something go out, I can just pop these out and put new seals and O-rings in it. That's one thing about this piece right here you can fix on it. But like I said, I'm thinking if I can, which I believe I can, instead of going to fixing this pump with 4 gallons a minute, I go back and put a new pump on it that has 5 gallons a minute, which will give me a little bit more water flow, and which should make me go a little bit faster. All right, so let's get back to this machine. We're gonna go ahead and hook up the hose, and after we hook up the hose, we're gonna go ahead and hopefully get water pressure coming out. Unlike last time, we didn't have any pressure, but we're gonna see if that all changed now. All right. Okay, Equipment, I got the hose hooked up, and we got everything ran over here. Let's go ahead and turn the water on. All right, got the water on, and before we crank the machine up, we want to prime this pump, make sure that water is passing through it. So we got the water on, and make sure it's not leaking there. We're gonna squeeze the trigger. Okay, so as you can see, water is passing through. Let's just get all the air out of it. So let's just give it a couple of minutes. See how that air is coming out. All right, I believe that should have all the air out of it. So let's go ahead and crank this up, and we're gonna give it a test. All right, here we go. Let's see, engine on. The fuel is on, everything. When you cut the engine off, it cuts the fuel off. All right. I always squeeze the trigger before you crank it and take all the pressure off the line. It makes it easy to pull. All right. There we go. It probably has a little air in the line still. Let's get it. Okay, Equipment, that is a success. As you can see, pressure washer right here. It's working now. I did have to change the pump. We tried to fix the uploader. That didn't work. That was the only thing that you can really do when your pressure washer is not getting any pressure and stuff like that. You have to basically check to see if the uploader is stuck, and if it's stuck, you try to unfree it, which I showed you. Which I did try to unfree it. It didn't work and stuff like that. So the next thing we can do was just go ahead and replace the pump, which I did. And it's pretty simple. Anybody who has any kind of tools and sockets and stuff like that should be able to do this. It's just 3 bolts you have to take out, line up the pin and stuff, and put everything back like you took it out. Like I said, the pump that I use on this is just something that I got off Amazon. It's probably like 5 or 6 different ones that you can get off Amazon. You can get the cheapest one, I believe. I tried to get the cheapest one, and like I said, it was about $70 or something. And you can look in the description below, and then you can see what pump I used. And believe it or not, this machine right here, or any machine that looks like this one, if you if you go ahead and look the way it looks with the pump underneath at the bottom and stuff like that, you can basically fix it the same way. So if it's either like this one, Simpson with a Honda engine, if it's a Ryobi or any kind of machine that looks like this and is around like around about 2.4, 2.5 gallons per minute, that pump that I put on this machine would probably fit on those machines. I'm not going to list all the machines that pump can probably fit on. If your machine looks anything like this one right here, you can go ahead and order the pump. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope that you found it entertaining. If not, at least I hope that you learned something from it. If you didn't, go back and look at the video because you skipped over the good parts. Once again, if you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing to the channel. And if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you know when my next video comes out. This is Marcos from Equipment Pressure Washing, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
It's him and I, Equipment.